Hi there, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Project Camper, welcome back to Living the Van Life. In today's video, we have some various items. This is all going to be going in your van if you want to build a simple, no-nonsense electrical system. And each one of these items can actually be expanded and built on, so nothing will ever get wasted. All you'll be doing is at a later date, as you want more power or want more peripherals in your van, then this system can grow with you. Right, so let's see what we got. Okay, here we have a breaker, and this will go from the battery to the bus bar. So you've got two types of bus bars. These are made by Victron. These are just like the low end ones. These are 250 amps. So you have the positive and the negative. Over here we have a different type of bus bar. This will have a maxi fuse placed there, and then like these little mini fuses that will be placed there, and then obviously your power cables will come from there. Here we have just a simple fuse box. Comes with fuses, comes with stickers, some mounting hardware. Then you can connect your USB sockets, which we have USB socket there and a USB socket there. And then we have some lights. So this will be a very basic, simple system. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to basically put up a fuse, a bus bar, and a fuse box, and then wire in a set of USB sockets and two lights. So hopefully this will give you some food for thought. All this stuff is available from 12 Volt Planet. They are the sponsor of this video. 12 Volt Planet are a really good company. Offer next day delivery, and you can buy everything from there. You can put it into a basket. You can see how much you want to spend, and then at a later date, if you want to go even further, like in this video, this will be a series. I'll show you how to upgrade, but you won't have to waste any money on anything other than what you've bought. So this is a great way to stage build. So for argument's sake, you've just got your van, you've stripped it all out, and you want to work on it. So the easiest way to do that is to get some lights in there. We will then go on to other videos where I will show you how to add DC charging, and that will be with a DC to DC charger and a solar MPPT charger. So we have a blank canvas here. So what we're going to do is we are going to mount fuse, bus bars and a fuse box and the lights, and then connect them all together. Now obviously this is going to be for demonstration purposes. The wire length will be dependent on your van or your vehicle. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first of all we're going to fit the breaker. This is going to protect the wiring from the battery to the rest of the system. You have to remember that a fuse is only there to protect the wiring and not the peripherals. So let's mount first of all the breaker. So we're going to put this here, and we've got some screws. So all we're going to do, screw that in. There you go, that is mounted. So we can flick it on and off as we want. Next off, we will be fitting the negative side of the bus bar. Comes with some mounting screws, so we will use the screws provided. Okay, so we have the breaker fitted and the negative bus bar. So now we are going to fit the positive bus bar, and we shall basically fit this around about here so you can see the cable runs. So now we have the breaker, the negative bus bar and the positive bus bar. Right, we've removed the nuts and bolts from here, so now we're going to just replace, turn it around, replace it with the washer, the lock washer and the nut. So we swap these around and we tighten this bolt up. So what we're going to do now is we are going to fit a 160 amp mega fuse. That will be placed there. So we put the washer, the lock washer and the nut on and tighten up. Like so. This will then receive a lug, a cable, go into the breaker, and then from the breaker down to a battery. So you can see from very little effort, with just 3 simple items, you have your building blocks for your electrical system. So now we can now mount the fuse box. Okay, the fuse box is now mounted. So what we need to do now is wire in some lights. You have some various lights around your van, and this will enable you to connect these up to the fuse box and work on your van at night time when you get back from work. Hopefully they'll be about level. And then we'll do mount the light, and then that can go into there. They have their own on off switches, so these will be placed around your van. So let's mount the other one. Okay, let's fit some terminals onto the ends and fix them into the fuse box. And to strip the cable a little bit more, a really good set of wire strippers. So you only need basically 2 tools if you really want to keep it simple. So decent set of crimpers, and you can buy these with terminals in a box for about 20-30 quid. And these are probably about 15 to 30 pounds depending on the quality. So these are the 2 main ones you're going to be using. So let's fit some terminals onto the ends. So just strip them off a little bit more, both ends. Then we can just split these a little bit, which they already are. And now we can fit our terminals. So this is a red terminal, 1.5mm I believe. Put your terminal in, pick a wire, insert, so you can just see it coming out, and then crimp away. And there you have one nice tight crimp. And repeat for the other 3. Okay, so these are all done. They're all neatly terminated. So all we've got to do now is connect up the red wire to the positive and the white wire to the negative. There you go. 2 nice, neat runs to the fuse box. Now if you need to extend the wires, then I strongly recommend using the Wago connectors on the ends, because then if at a later date you want to have a string, say for the front or the left, then you can use these, the three-way connectors, and then you can keep adding a string. Really handy. So there we have 2 lights fitted into the fuse box. Now what we need to do now is mount our USB sockets. Okay, so back to the fuse box. So negative to the negative side and the positive to the positive side, and repeat. So now you can see we've got 2 lights and 2 USB sockets, and that's enough to basically get your van up and running and work at night time. So all we need to do now is connect positive to the bus bars. Okay, so let's crimp this cable. So put your cable into the wire strippers, give it a little twist, make sure there's no loose strands. Pop your bit of heat shrink on first, like so. Put it down. And we've got some lugs. Make sure all the cable strands are inside, no stray ones, and then with some hydraulic crimpers. I shall leave some links in the description for these, because these are quite handy. These are about 20-30 quid, depending on who you get them from. And then just crimp down, just until they meet. Don't do it too much, because you will blow the seals. Give it a tug test. Perfect. Push the heat shrink over. And you have one nice tidy cable that you just made up. With your blowtorch, just gently heat it up. Both ends. Job done. So there is your negative side cable to the fuse box from the bus bar. So all you need to do is repeat that again for the positive side. Okay, so let's connect these cables. Make sure they're nice and tidy. So taking off the nut, the lock washer and the washer. And we'll do the same for this one. Insert the cable, insert the fuse. Replace your washer, the lock washer and the nut. Washer, lock washer and nut. Okay, the reason why I've done it this way around is because the plate here will bend the fuse, so that's going to fit nice and flush. So just tighten it up and then connect the positive to the fuse box. And repeat for the negative. Okay, so you can see now we've got the 2 lights connected, we've got the 2 USBs connected, they are all connected to the fuse box. We've got a cable coming from the fuse box for the positive and a cable coming from the fuse box to the negative bus bar. So all we need to do now is connect a cable here to the breaker. So there you go. All we've got to do now is run a negative cable around and down where we can place the battery once we've finished with all this. Okay, so we have our basic, probably take you about a day to wire this up. So you've got 2 lights, 2 USB sockets, a fuse box, a bus bar for your positive and a bus bar for your negative, a breaker switch, your various cables. Depending on your load, you'll have to size the cables. This is just some cables that I've had lying around which I've made to mark up for this example. So coming down here we've got our positive and our negative, and that is going temporary to a battery pack at the moment. But before we turn anything on, I want to make sure we're going to test it with a multimeter. So here we go, let's turn it on. Okay, so first of all, we're going to undo the bus bar for the negative. Put the terminal on there, and we should have battery voltage here. So 13.6 volts and nothing on the outside. Okay, so moving along, flip the switch, we have 13.6 volts there, and we have 13.6 volts at the positive side. 13.6 volts at the positive side of the fuse box, and 13.6 volts positive side of the output on the fuse box. So all intents and purposes, this circuit is all done. So I'll just show you quickly. 13.6, 13.6 and 13.6. So we are all good to go. The bus bar cover and the fuse box cover. Okay, so we should be able to turn on the lights. Happy days. And to check that the USB sockets work, the little lights are on, so that's good to go. So we can plug in mobile phone, or in this case, GoPro charger. And the lights are on. So there you go, just a simple 12-volt system. So this is some of the tools we've used. We used a hydraulic crimping tool. I'll leave a link in the description. Some normal crimpers for normal terminals. Some wire strippers. Just a knife, just a normal utility knife. And a little gas torch for the heat shrink. Just a small generic multimeter. And just a handful of tools. So there you go, breaker, negative bus bar, positive bus bar with MIDI fuses and a maxi fuse, a small fuse box and 2 USB sockets and 2 lights. As simple as that. All you got to remember, it's just 2 cables. That's all it is, just 2 wires, 2 cables. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. It really is not difficult to do this. You just have to think about it as just 2 cables, a couple of terminals and a couple of electrical items. You have to make sure that your fuses are correct for the cable, not the peripheral, and also properly crimped, so invest in quality tools. All this is available on the internet, and at a later date I will show you, with the kind support from 12 Volt Planet, how to add an inverter, an MPPT for a solar panel which can connect to there and there, and also a DC-DC charger which will also connect to there and there. At a later date you can also upgrade these items if you want to for a Victron distribution unit, and then that'll tie in then. But at the moment we are keeping this simple, and this is quick build to show you how easy it is to build a small, perfectly safe, cheap, reliable system for your van. Anyway, my name's Sean, this is Project Camper, and this is my first tutorial of many, hopefully, to help you guys wire up your camper van reliably and safely and simply. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for now. Bye bye.